bathroom.
Yeah.
And Anheuser-Busch.
All right, guys, today is Thursday, April 24th, 2025. The time is 5:25, and I'll call this a meeting to order. We don't have any guests here in the room today, and we'll do roll call. Brittany Barreras, I'm here. Bernadette Fritz.
Here.
Melissa Ontiveros. She's not going to be here today, I don't think. Maybe she'll jump on at some point, but
We have a quorum, right?
we do, yeah. And then what about Jessica Montoya?
Not here, out of the country.
Oh, yeah, okay. And Charlotte Trujillo.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum. Next, public comment. We didn't have anything submitted to the email. There's nobody here in person. Approval of today's agenda. If everybody had an opportunity to look it over.
Can I make a motion to amend 5.5 to only read, consider approval of the 25-26 calendar
Yes.
and everything else be tabled?
I'll second that.
All right, we'll do a roll call vote. Brittany Barreras, yes. Bernadette Fritz.
Yes.
Charlotte Trujillo.
Yes.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Nays? All right, the ayes have it. Moving on to the last month's minutes from March, and those were also emailed to us. If everybody got a chance to look at those.
Are they in the stack? I did get to look at them.
I looked at it on my
Yeah.
but I haven't printed. I will make a motion to approve them. Did you look them over?
I looked them over too. I just,
Yeah. I'll second.
All right, roll call. Brittany Barreras, yes. Bernadette Fritz.
Yes.
Charlotte Trujillo.
yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nays? All right, that's approved. And then next, we'll move down to our number 5, our action items. And 5.1 is consider approval of financial statements from previous months.
So I sat in on the finance meeting yesterday, which we had with Justine. I'm super happy with her format. We reviewed everything. Al wasn't able to be there. I believe he was out of town too or something. But yeah, I mean, she was very thorough and I didn't have any outstanding questions. Everything balanced.
Great.
I did ask her if she was okay with us pulling or requesting backup for 3, so I'll touch base with,
Awesome.
well, you guys and or Al. There's a section in here, page 11, 12, 13, and 14 that lists all the checks that have been written. And so typically we'll just pull a random 3 and say, let me see the backup. So we're, it could be a rec, it could be a PO, an invoice, whatever, just to make sure that everything is being done the way it should be.
That's a really good idea.
So we can look at the 3 that you guys want to pull later on, but
Okay.
I didn't have any questions whatsoever regarding the financial statements.
Just to add to, even with all the encumbrances, POs and everything, and the expenditures or expenses to date. Again, Justine said it last time, cash reserve, cash balance is pretty good.
Right.
Again, the reason for that is that, again, I wasn't sure what the enrollment would be this year, so super conservative. There were 3 certified positions, and we've done pretty good, 3 certified positions. Specials art, assistant principal, and a special ed position, which we were down from 40 to 45 kids to like 31 IEP kids anyways. So those are some big, that's like that's like $300,000+ right there. That we kind of just, yeah, so.
That's where that
so
surplus
it's pretty good
comes
that, that we were still flushing pretty well. So there's definitely pushing it for the next couple of years.
That's good because in the sense of us or the school reducing the number of enrollment, the going back down to the 2 strands.
And you would know this,
Good.
Charlotte, from my understanding, we've never really had issues like billing, like.
Yeah.
In the 2 years in a row now, we've had issues.
With students?
Students,
Okay.
Why do you think?
I mean, my guess is that, anytime there's a fight on the bus
Oh.
and, those kinds of things definitely contribute to like perceptions of like, man, that's dangerous school or what have you, No, really, right?
It's, word
Especially,
gets
they're-
around. I will say that, year and a half ago, there was a lot of chatter about South Valley Prep in the South Valley being not being a good place to be.
Oh, really?
And a lot of it was former parents and just voicing to me concerns about what was happening. This was pre-Baylor, I will say. And so I think there could have been some damage in that sense. I think also, I will say, because I'm, my church community, a lot of kids come from my church community and around our neighborhood. There's been a lot of positive conversations around South Valley Prep, and so it's encouraging. I don't think that will be something that becomes a long-term problem. I think it would be
I
fine.
believe whether it's a couple of years.
Yeah.
Is it possible, I don't know if it's something that you've ever done or considered, I don't know about like, getting in with the APS, but to like do like some community outreach to maybe like some
Marketing?
fifth graders, that are about to go into sixth grade. Is that possible or?
We do that. We do that
Okay,
for this. The APS is not obviously
They're not
thrilled
thrilled about it, yeah.
But
No,
we
they don't
do
try.
like Nora and some of the others that have connections to like their schools.
right.
And so we'll go directly to the schools themselves, like Adobe Acres and
Kate
KBS
Carson.
has been, Kate Carson, and just handed out to the grade teachers and all that, and they're cool with it on a keep it low basis.
Okay,
Previously, when we used to be able to go to the family meetings, they kind of balked at some of that. I think even before I left, they stopped allowing that. We used to be able to request all the names of all fifth graders in the,
Now,
Right.
Charlotte, we are, but
Schools.
what's happening is that they're sending them out to us late.
yeah,
it's
I'm not gonna
strategic
go
though,
whether, yeah.
right? I mean, so it went from, I think, not enough seats in a classroom for how many students there were in APS to now there's all of these charter
Yeah.
schools. It's becoming an issue because they're also struggling with
there
numbers.
there
I
is
think that's what it
Especially
another,
middle school.
yeah, there is another way that we did it. We contracted with ARCA Mailing Services.
Oh, yeah.
Is it ARCA? Adelante,
Yeah,
not,
Adelante.
yeah. And they can do a mailing out to a certain
So like,
households that have children at this age, so they
Oh.
can narrow it down. We've
Oh,
done
wow.
that, we've done that before
Oh,
too.
nice.
like zip
Yeah.
codes?
Yeah, zip codes, but
Okay.
it targets families that
Yeah.
have children of a certain age.
So for a while there, I was getting, recorded calls from Moss.
Oh, wow.
Really?
For a while
Really?
there, yeah, they would be like, come join this
Because
charter
they got
school."
APS.
I'm wondering how they got that, and then I would get mailers from Moss. And I don't live anywhere near Moss, I don't
Interesting.
think,
Was it, how old was Davian when that happened?
probably getting ready for middle school.
Yeah, see, I think it's the same thing, that we
And
did
then
the
I have an
mailers.
elementary school,
at
so they
Adelante.
do have an elementary at Moss, but it was, we would get a recorded call.
Texting or even recording would be
Like a call that
definitely.
would come out, like if you're interested, press whatever
Yeah,
for more information.
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, it might be
Actual
something to think about
recording or
if it-
texting instead of mail,
Mhm.
because we still do mail and
Mhm.
stuff,
Mhm.
the parents, APS parents, but,
And APS numbers are so low that they didn't turn down any transfers.
oh,
They did
didn't
2
turn down
rounds
any.
of transfers. So
wow,
we did a transfer for Julian to go to Tony Hillerman,
none.
and a bunch of our friends have done like transfers to quite a bit in different schools, and they all got accepted.
So they're doing that for
They're just
retention.
bringing kids in because they're
Oh.
losing a lot, and
Because if not, they're
before,
gonna go to a
we couldn't get the boys in anywhere.
yeah,
But now they're just mass enrolling kids, I think, and they're doing
Wherever.
2 waves of it. So we did
Wow.
the first wave, then there's gonna be a second wave that they'll allow.
interesting.
Which
That
is
is
interesting because you don't really have your, what is it called, projections, right? You kind of,
Mhm,
so,
mhm.
yeah,
Good ideas.
text somehow.
The texting, I know, at least here, the parent, that's the only way we really
Right,
communicate is
right.
texting.
Mhm.
It seems to work pretty well.
Do you, reach out to your existing families to say, hey, share, lottery information
Or
with
if you
your?
bring in a family, we'll give you like a quarter.
Oh, that one we haven't done. That's actually a great idea.
So that's not really big, that's a Catholic school, but if you refer to family, you got something, I don't
That's actually a
remember
good
what
idea.
it was.
Oh,
And if they
I don't
said,
know if you could do that.
Right.
School, I don't know.
it's a referral.
and you're not
No,
guaranteed, entrance, like, an acceptance. It's just an opportunity
It's
to
not like
reach
they're
out to a
jumping the
family.
line or
Yeah.
anything, like on the.
But maybe you could generate something that's just like,
As long
hey,
as it's done in a
families,
prize form, I think that you can.
you can
Please get the
share
word
out,
out,
yeah,
yes.
get the word
Yeah,
out.
it's just
The
a good
lottery's
idea.
already done, right?
Yeah, we'll still keep taking
Oh,
kids,
yeah,
yeah.
for sure, for sure. Do you have any left on the waiting list, or?
I'll have to check with Mona, but, I'm not sure we had a waiting list.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
Okay.
okay.
Well, it's something to think about, just we're wanting to, maximize, yeah.
And it's, and I'll be super transparent. Hey, you know what, if the school isn't that good, I don't want to recruit, but it's actually pretty decent, the classrooms and the kids and
Oh, it's
the staff. And
great.
it's
My
like,
nephew's
yeah,
been
you
here for
want.
3 years and he's,
Yeah, so
he's
I mean,
thriving. He's
I
thriving,
I
like
could
in the
speak on that
classroom.
for Davey, and he's been great in high school.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
He's, we could be class president or something he's running for.
Sounds like
right?
he got
Yeah.
it. He
See,
won.
that's like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, no,
incredible.
we have prospective subs that we bring in because we like to get them just not subbing yet, but shadowing and stuff. It's like, oh my gosh, like, full flood
Yeah,
into like,
yeah.
hey, good. It's not only me, you're actually seeing it do good.
I mean, it's tough when you're like in the day-to-day, but when your day-to-day is at other schools, it's, they're doing really great. The students are super happy, so
For sure.
what more could we ask for?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
So-
enrollment, we'll work on it. Now I'm gonna
cool.
I actually projected, I thought conservative, instead of 156, which would have been too full. I think I said 147 or something, but we still didn't need it. We got 141 at 40th day. We have 144 now. And of course, the financials, one of the bars is the reduction in SEG. It's gonna be a total of almost $90,000 because it was there's growth projection in there that obviously didn't happen and all that stuff.
$88,000, I think is
Almost
what
90, yeah,
Justine.
almost 90.
Almost 90.
I wonder
Which
too,
actually, I don't think is that bad considering.
Our
the
reserve,
yeah.
reserve.
What about like, is it like a San Jose Community Center? I know there's like Westside Community Center. Los
South
Angeles.
side, east
But I'm
side.
thinking that during the summers, but because they hold the rec programs there, and it's not
Even
specific for
restaurants.
a school, It's
Yeah,
not
you could leave flyers there. We used to mail out the entire letter and the application, a lottery application.
I wonder
Oh.
if, and Char's gonna not like this idea, but.
I love it.
No.
I already could ask
She's not gonna like
anyway.
this idea. But how we would get kids at Mark Armino is we would have our counselors talk to the school counselors for kids who get kicked out. Like, hey, there's this charter school you can go to. I mean, sometimes they just need to
It
change
doesn't
of setting or
necessarily have
change
to
of
be-
environment.
It
I mean,
doesn't
if it's
have to
like,
be kicked
It's true.
out
Yeah.
too. It could just be
A
someone who's
cousin.
not thriving.
and we would get,
Exactly.
West Mason would bring them, like, this kid is not showing up, we think they need a small, they would bring them all the time to Mark Armino because we had that connection with them. Like Albuquerque Charter, we get to El Dorado.
I would
We're
make
not
that,
even anywhere close, but maybe have school, like, somebody, I don't know, counselor, social worker, whoever.
You know, we do have kids that had not worked out in other schools.
Right,
Yeah.
But here's the thing that I don't know if I told you guys, our reset room, I honestly thought, given all the stuff I heard, oh man, we're gonna have to do in-school suspension. It's not even used.
yeah.
It's not even used.
it's all about culture, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
you
is.
won't see
It
the
is.
same
It's all
thing.
about the school
It is.
culture.
And how
I
kids are
mean,
treated,
and,
you know?
yeah,
And we
and
know
the
how the kid
safety
brain.
of the environment and everything, it matters. I mean, what you heard and what was happening prior to you getting there was
Was a
because it
mess.
was a
Right.
mess.
Right.
The culture was a mess, it was,
There
yeah.
was no
so-
oversight of anything. And so, anyways.
But
I mean, as far as-
reset isn't even, we use it as a library. We use it as a library.
Yeah, I I just think that it just matters on, there was a lot of chaos prior when I left,
A lot
and
of
so it's just a lot of change. And
A
so
lot
there's
of change and it takes away that trust,
Right.
It's super, super important to build the trust with the students. And once that's there, then they're seeing their own leadership,
Right, and their teachers are leaving or whatever.
Yeah.
It creates a lot of uncertainty for our kids and
Yeah.
they act out. I mean, they're middle schoolers.
right, they have so much energy and it's like channel it here
For
or
sure.
channel it there,
Right?
But what charter school elementaries are around here?
East Santa, we've been getting quite a few kids from East Santa State right
Or
now.
like charter
So-
schools?
Oh, charter schools? Well, Dorn, but
They
They
closed,
closed.
Really, I actually,
There's a William Dorn.
They're like 30 kids
Community
total,
School.
right?
Yeah, they
I
had,
never.
we were looking to
Yeah.
rent,
it's
we
right
were
by
looking to rent
Eugene.
them upstairs.
Oh.
And we were just exploring.
Yeah.
You can make money, but they went out
They
of
closed?
business.
Oh.
Yeah, they closed them.
Because I think a lot of parents, what I know is that they want to go from charter to charter. So, they're in an elementary charter, the scary part is what's going to be the middle school.
Mhm.
So what,
It's
build like
yeah.
a feeder type relationship
I
with an
can't
elementary
say that
charter.
there's like a
That's
charter
something I-
elementary around, but we seem to, we seem to exchange kids between Albuquerque Bilingual and Moss.
And Moss
seem
is
to
not that
change-
far, it's the one
It's
on
not,
Yale is
of
not.
course,
Yeah.
no,
Oh, that's only,
They have
oh,
elementary middle,
okay.
but
Wait,
when it
the one
does,
on Yale's elementary middle or it's high school?
they have
We
all
would-
three, right?
But we would want to be,
It's all three.
we
We
want,
would want one.
the outreach
that's
would have to be just
standalone,
elementary.
Right.
Yeah.
At both
Is that-
locations, I think they have all three.
Is that really a thing now, standalone elementary
Charter?
charters?
I haven't.
Santa
I
Rosa.
can't
Most of
even-
them are
even-
K-8.
Since
Right,
Most
right.
charters
That's
are
K-8.
K-8.
That's
Santa
K-8.
Rosa's,
Santa Alice is K-8.
and now what's Alice King is now a K-8,
Yeah,
Round
Oh,
Mahogany.
K-8.
Yeah.
It's hard, it's kind of hard for us, right?
right, no, that's a really good idea though, like finding the standalone, but if it's not,
It's basically the
it's
regular
inconsistent.
APS elementary. we
Yeah.
gotta kind of focus on.
And I think most parents that are in charter schools are happy, more or less. I mean, I do know that there's a lot of mobility going on at Moss because Moss is not for everybody, for sure.
No, they're modeled.
Yeah, their model doesn't work. And a lot of people want that for their kid and sometimes it's just not what they think it is.
That's
so.
the beauty of charter schools, though.
Right.
Everyone has a different model, and it's like, once you find the one that works
Right.
for you, you wanna, because I mean, when you're talking about traditional public schools, it's the same model, no matter
Mhm.
where you're at, the things that change is just the.
But what you brought
calendar.
earlier, Charlotte, about like getting rid of that too, is like encouraging the current parents. 'Cause again,
Word of mouth.
still
mouth.
80% are in South Valley.
Yeah.
Still 80%.
Well, there's a good solid reputation, I think, from South Valley Prep down there. And a lot of the kids I know that you have now are siblings of kids that
Yeah,
we've
they're like
had or
generational
cousins or,
kinda,
yeah. We've
referrals.
always had
And-
generational
And
families.
we have a bus, so it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, I think that we could maybe come up with like a outreach. marketing
Yeah.
Something a
sort
little
of,
better
For sure you
for-
could-
yeah.
Send in the entire South Valley.
And I've been seeing a Facebook ad, you know how you see those like sponsored ads for
Yeah.
Albuquerque Talent Development.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's been coming up a lot.
Mm.
They're moving, I think.
Are they? I thought they were living
I thought Christine
Christine
Duncan
Duncan.
was gonna,
with.
I think Christine Duncan bought the whole thing.
Oh,
so they'll stay just, where would they
Just
go? Cause that works, cause they're right next door to each other.
anyways, we still gotta approve the finance.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, guys.
That's okay. We got off topic.
I'll move approval, motion approval of the financial statements.
I'll second.
We'll do roll call. Brenda Barretos, yes. Bernadette Fritz.
Yes.
Charlotte Trujillo.
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nays. All right, and the next, bars.
There are 4.
Mhm.
16 seconds.
In the packet, we only have one copy, but they emailed the others.
Yes, in fact, I think there's only one, you're right, yeah, but there were 4. The one in there is the one that we kind of touched upon already, it's the one that ends in 0031 decrease. That the SEG is decreasing because of the enrollment piece didn't match the 40th day projections for the actuals.
And then what about the numbers on the other, you said that there was a total of four?
Four, and then, so there's 0028, it's a
Can we do
transfer.
one
Do
by
one at a
one
time.
Oh, yeah, okay, yes.
So I motion to approve bar ending in 0031-D.
I'll second.
All right, we'll do roll call. Brittany Butler, yes. Bernadette Reeds?
Yes.
Charlie Trujillo?
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays? All right, it's approved.
And the next, yeah.
0028, you said?
Say it again.
0028?
0028 is, it's Title One, and I had written in the Title One this year and for next year that since I'm Title One director, that the salary should partially come out from there. They located it this year, and they located it last year. Again, the idea was to preserve operational.
Okay,
And so around $12,000 will come out this year, it will come out next year as well too. So it's a little savings in our SCG.
okay, I'll make a motion to approve bar ending in 0028. Is it also D?
T transfer.
T? Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, Brittany Butler, yes. Bernadette Reeds?
Yes.
Charlotte Trujillo?
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays? And that gets approved. And then the third bar?
That was a decrease within Title IV. The Title IV is used for health, wellness. It was about $10,000, decreased a little bit. And that's, we pay our part-time social worker in school for that. The idea was that, hey, we'll take the social worker for the special ed students with disabilities and utilize and pay for their salaries to work with any kid on campus that might need for service. So that was the idea behind it.
Is it, what's the number of the, oh, 0029 or
0029,
dash D?
yes,
It's a decrease.
it was decreased from
Okay,
a PED memo. It was a little bit less.
I'll motion to approve bar ending in 0029-D.
I'll second.
okay, we'll do roll call. Brittany Butler, yes. Bernadette Reeds?
Yes.
And Charlotte Trujillo?
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays? Passes. And then the fourth one, the fourth bar.
That one is a maintenance bar, and that was for COVID money. And what we did with that was, again, observing, operational. It's for the area, yeah, disinfecting,
Okay.
and all those things to mitigate COVID.
So was that a transfer or?
Shifted it from one function to
Okay,
the other.
okay.
The function is now 2,600, which is where facilities and things are, including
Okay,
custodians.
So it's 0030-N?
0030-M, yes.
Yeah, it's a maintenance. So when you,
okay,
when you move money within the same function, it's not a transfer, it's a maintenance, so you can,
okay.
I do think maintenance bars need an approval, actually. But it's always,
Wouldn't hurt.
Yeah,
I'll make a
it's-
motion to approve the bar ending in 0030-M.
I'll second it. Roll call. Brittany Butler, yes. Bernadette Reeds?
Yes.
And Charlie Trujillo?
yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays? Okay, so our bars are approved. And then next, item 5.3, consider approval to proceed to the election of council officers with nominations of the positions for chair, vice chair, and secretary/treasurer. There is only 3 of us here today.
Table that.
Yeah, and I think that, there needs to be like more discussion on it, and probably all our members here.
I'll motion to table, item 5.3.
Okay, so roll call. Brittany Butler, yes to table. Bernadette Reeds? Charlotte Trujillo?
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, nays? All right, next, our action item number 5.4 is, consider approval for the revised roofing bid, from the vendors. So last month, we approved, it was National Roofing. And, because they're trying to stay, within like, they're just trying to, how did you word it, Wheeler, for
It's a
the
thing called
older
the-
people?
Yeah, wage decision,
Yeah.
your workforce solutions, that they need to guarantee that, their, employees, are gonna get a certain kind of wage for the kind of industry that they're doing. So I don't know what's the,
So the increase though, was that, I wonder if it was like, they weren't taking that into consideration, or maybe they came and saw the roof and it's more
this guarantee only applies to public works.
Gotcha,
Funds being, were.
right,
were
So they
for-
forgot to add it in the original quote?
Yeah.
Is that what they-
gotcha,
Yeah, they-
okay,
I think they must have thought we were getting some kind of a donation and, you know, that didn't apply to them.
gotcha, okay.
I mean, they're still lower than
Even
the
with-
two other bids, but it did increase by at least, I wanna say 15,000.
15,000 increase, but
At
it's still
least
under,
from the previous approved item, yeah.
yeah,
18, is it good? 18, no. Okay.
It is like I
No,
said,
that was a tax, I'm sorry.
yeah, what I, said is, the good thing is that it's repurposing the expired appropriation.
okay. So I'll, I can, motion that we approve the revised, bid from National Roofing. Yeah, Andrew?
Okay. I'll second.
Okay, I will do roll call. Brittany Butterus, yes. Brenda Fritz, and Charlie Trujillo.
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays? All right, passes. And now we're, moving on to action item 5.5. That's the one that we, amended. So we're only looking at the draft calendar. And, what I hear, this is, very close to APS, standard calendar. And it pushes our, spring break a little bit,
Closer, not so late.
not so late, yeah.
Still seems late to me, but.
I know, only in April.
Is it?
It has been mid-March, APS.
Very.
Oh, it's only a week, honestly.
I guess I'm thinking 20 years ago when I was in UPS,
What?
but it,
It
was
varies,
always
I
with
think.
Easter.
It's always within the month of March. I don't know if
Okay,
it's ever
okay.
done to people. Maybe. But anyways.
Okay. But this is, basically standard with,
APS. This is
It
APS,
is just
traditional
again
calendar.
to address the part of the strategy to improve attendance, just because,
Right.
you know,
Absolutely, yeah. Have siblings in other class,
yeah,
other
yeah, you
schools.
gotta
like elementary and high school.
Uh-huh.
vacations, childcare, all the things.
I'm gonna recommend though that, the calendar, it's plugged into a new system now, OBMS. It looks like it's working, it looks like everything's green, but I always will say, if you do approve this calendar, I would say, with modifications that PED says you need to correct this, and with modifications based on NMPD corrections or requirements, that I would add that in the motion.
Okay. You said, with PED's, requirements or corrections?
If
Yeah.
they're required.
So I'll motion to approve the calendar with the caveat that there's allowable modifications based on PED recommendations or
Yes.
requirements.
Okay, we'll do a roll call. Brittany Butterus, yes. Brenda Fritz, yes. And Charlie Trujillo?
Yes.
All those in favor say aye. Nays? Passes. And then next we've got the, item number 5.6, consider approval of the 2025-2026 IDEA application.
I thought it would be ready, but it's not ready.
Oh.
But I'll give you a breakdown of where that money is gonna go to, regardless of what the amount. It's not gonna go to special ed, ancillary services, OT, social work, and,
Speech
speech therapy,
therapists.
yeah.
And Diane.
And, yeah, dying, yes. And just to add a little bit as well too, there's this thing called MOE, because we were supposed to spend the same amount every year in our operational and special ed.
Did you do the previous?
So we're probably not gonna meet MOE this year because we reduce kids. So when that comes around, there's an exception form that, hey, why did you not meet MOE? That just needs to be filled out because we had less kids and we would just show the NOLA data.
Okay,
But why I'm saying that is that this money can be carried over and over and over. And so my thinking with Justine was that we're going to spend operational, we have it up there, to keep the MOE going up there. We might even do that for just the next 2-3 years, just to keep it there. Because we can still bank ID&B. We can still bank on ID&B. We can bank it. It doesn't go away.
okay,
But it is funds that are specific for certain services.
okay.
What's the worst case if you don't meet MOE and they don't accept an exception? You just pay the difference. That's,
Okay,
I mean,
okay. So, but we don't have the actual application.
no, so you
Anyway, so
could
we can-
table it. Yeah.
Okay,
I'll
okay, sorry, go ahead.
motion to table the 2025-2026 IDB application.
And I will second it, we'll do roll call, if anybody else, yes? Bernadette Fix?
Yes.
And Charlotte Shahir.
Yes.
All those in favor say aye. Nays? Okay, we'll table that. And the next, Baylor is, the executive director's reports.
Yeah, let me just pull that out. Yeah, we cranked out the MASA. That was the big one. But school's not over, as I remind staff and students, it's not over.
Do you guys still do charter school testing? Is that how you Tracy?
We do, yeah, about $15,000-$16,000. They do a pretty good job.
They do.
We still, you guys do that?
We did at Mark Armijo, we do not, they tried it at the current school and they thought it was harder.
Yeah.
I disagree, I think they're great. so.
They do. They keep track of stuff.
They do
Letters.
all that stuff.
Required letters that need to go out to parents, EL students. Whether
They're on it.
They're on it. Yeah, it helps out a lot. Interim assessments are forthcoming in May, but what we did, because 8th graders have to take the ASR, the science portion, the new ones in school. We said, hey, why don't we just do our interim assessments in science at the same time our 8th graders are doing their required state testing.
That's good.
Yeah, so that we just leave the reading and the math in May for everybody. So that's kind of the overall plan. And we actually already, the budget you guys approved, we've already confirmed with charter testing. These are the dates we want our access to be administered. These are the dates we want our NMAS to be administered and our short cycle assessments to be administered. Everybody knows well in advance when all that stuff is happening.
You mean the budget that was approved for this year?
The budget's approved for the calendar you guys approved
Yeah.
for next year.
Right.
Has all this stuff already in it.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
How did the state assessments go, the reading and math? How do you think?
I thought really well. We cranked it out. There's only one student that is in and out that missed the reading. So everybody else took it. So we definitely met the 95%
Yes, for
threshold,
sure.
but probably 98+%.
Nice.
Just that one
Nice.
student.
Cool.
It's not too bad. And,
Nice.
we'll see the math strategy
Yeah.
that Carl came up with, if I mentioned to you guys
Yeah.
about it. Yeah, we'll see how that plays out.
It works really well with, reading, like our reading scores went way up, so.
Yeah. And the math was just down, like really bad, like below state average. And so we'll see if that
It's
works.
been a historical issue. I mean, we've gone up a little. I remember it going up a little bit, but it's never been, it's been right there, either right, the highest I think is right at the state.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think we've ever even exceeded the state math, ever. I know we've exceeded APS, at some points, but it's always been a struggle. Math has always been a
Interesting.
struggle.
Yeah, given that's a
Yeah.
long-standing teacher we've been for a long time.
We also struggled with finding a math teacher for a long time, so she kind of, that one
That's a
teacher
tough,
kind of
yeah,
helped
it's always tough, right?
Yeah.
So,
clean up for a while. but-
yeah, I mean, I'm confident, 'cause, I mean, I suggested this strategy, but Carm said, that's all the secret, so she ran with it.
That's
See what
great,
happens,
yeah.
see what happens.
Yeah.
Something is always better than nothing.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, we try something different, you know?
Are you guys still using NWEA as
We
interim?
are, yeah, that's the one, yeah.
Did you still use the other reading assessment?
ASR?
Oh,
That
is
one
it
is-
ASR?
No, SRA,
No.
SRA.
Oh,
It's,
we used to do the
talking about.
ARI.
ARI, that's it,
Oh,
ARI.
okay.
Only on select, with select kids on where if the teachers request it.
Oh, so they
They want
continue.
it, if they, I think the kiddo, didn't take the NWA seriously, administer
Oh.
the,
ARI.
yeah.
So do you use the NWEA to place students in
Yeah.
reading classes?
Yep.
That's good.
Let's see here, at the budget, we talked a little bit, there's that 55, 65, 75,000 raises, base raise. Our original, salary schedule I sent you guys just had that, but just he was working to make sure it's a little bit fairer, closer. Nothing dealing with statute or regulation, it just kind of makes sense to just make it fair for anybody else coming in with the same number of years, you should be $1,000 covered.
Right.
Nothing. Let's see here. There's a projected increase in our SEG based on the new funding formula.
Oh, family income index?
No, they redid the SEG for the first time in, I don't know, 30 years or something. And there was a projected amount of 89,000 or something. I'm not counting on it, but South Valley Prep is supposed to increase in. The LESC, like, cranked it out for districts and charter schools.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the schools or districts that were losing out are Ames.
Yeah.
What's
At risk.
That's the at-risk.
Yes,
Oh,
they
mhm.
shifted the at-risk piece.
Cottonwood, right?
Yeah,
Cottonwood
which
is
is
gonna
something we've fought for
It needed
for
to
a
be, yeah. It
long,
needed to
long
happen.
time.
Equitable.
So,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
So you don't have that high at-risk population, you shouldn't get the same amount as everybody else, the schools that serve
So is that,
primarily at-risk
Yeah,
population.
so is that what happened at Albuquerque High? They lost 10 teachers.
No, because this just happened,
This
right?
is next
This
year.
This is for
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah.
Next year, they're
Yeah.
not bringing back.
Oh, that's
10
true, yeah,
teachers.
that's true.
They're
Yeah,
not
they-
considered a Title I school anymore.
That's,
It's all
yeah.
related.
Oh.
Because it was in the paper, all these schools that were losing Title I funding.
Yeah, that's right,
Is
yeah.
this all
Wow.
related or is this different?
It's
the-
different.
It's from the same
It's different.
legislative session, but it's different.
With that
Yeah.
APS, because if you're APS charter, 'cause a bunch of charter schools also lost Title I designation.
Why?
The threshold
The
is no
threshold.
longer 50%, it's
Right.
now 60%.
They changed the threshold.
Is it free and reduced? Is that
Is
the
that what it
title one?
goes? That's what it goes
Yeah.
up, right?
Free and
Yeah,
reduced?
so
yeah.
they'll have to cut 10 teachers next year.
Wow.
So they're no longer, that's right,
Yeah,
they're
they're
no
not
longer
Title
Title
I
I,
school.
Mount Mogg's no longer Title I, a
Right.
couple of other schools are no longer Title I yet.
Wow,
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean,
interesting.
Interesting.
Well, that's
so
good.
Hopefully,
Hopefully,
Both
hopefully
have
we'll
interest.
get that extra.
yeah, the only issue is that it looks like, in the LESC and LFC agreed with a number of districts in the charter coalition or whatever, that the SEG wasn't big enough or wasn't large enough to actually like cover the, this plus the raises,
Oh,
but that's not a never ending kind of issue.
that happens every year. They give a 4% raise, but they don't fund it.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna fund.
We'll see what happens. I'm sure that it'll increase. I just don't know by what LESC estimated like almost 90,000. Maybe it increases by 40, I don't know. We'll see.
Right.
We'll see how it all plays out. We'll see when the 910 B5Rs come, when it gets cranked out and given to us. Hopefully in a few weeks. We're still hiring. There's still one position. We actually advertised the lead special ed positions in January. I do early, like when folks are not coming back, I actually just want to be honorable, let them know like, hey, we don't have to wait till April. But yeah, there was one person that wasn't coming back, and another person, two special ed teachers are not coming back. Yeah, because not returning because it's just so far with the traffic. She was in Rio Rancho and all that, and it's too bad. Yeah, she was really good. She was going to leave this year, but thank God she stayed.
Yeah.
The reason we needed to have her stay because site visits and renewals, they actually look at retention.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Teacher retention.
Yeah. It looks like I did talk to there's the pipeline to become a teacher. One of them is the Ed Fellow program. I don't know if you guys have Ed Fellows. I'm sure you guys have Ed Fellows at your school, right? Because they basically pay for themselves.
Mhm.
That was out of the stimulus, which is now gone.
So it's gonna be gone next year?
Apparently, no. When I talked to the head of Ed Fellows, Amber Romero, she said that the criteria will change. She said that you guys, South Valley Prep, you probably will keep yours, which is a good thing. Literally, it's not costing the school anything. That VA, who's wanting to become a teacher, they pay for the classes, all those things. So they're working the details out. Nothing's official yet. There's no memo, but I'm hopeful that we'll be able to keep our current special ed VA Ed Fellow, Charlotte Hatfield, who's also a parent.
Okay.
On board. Super hopeful about that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we just wouldn't have EAs. Oh, the thing that we're doing with teacher contracts, thanks to you guys' suggestion, is inserting in their leadership opportunities.
Oh, good.
Yes, leadership opportunities, and I made it super specific. Lead, overseeing the charter mission implementation tracking. It's kind of straightforward. I actually created a Google tracking thing where the teachers fill it out on their, someone, instead of me or the head administrator, someone can take that over. It's literally there already. It's all set up.
Yeah.
It was actually one of the reasons we actually got like a false bar below on our site visit on it because, well, the office dealt with it, the administration dealt with it. And since there was not necessarily an administrator on site then, before I got here, it just wasn't done. In this case, at least now teachers are charged with,
Yeah.
and you can co-lead this. You don't have to do it by yourself. And it's basically reminding teachers, fill it out in the fall by this date, fill it out in the spring by this date. You guys take Safe Schools or Vector training?
Mhm.
I actually was able to put that in there, that the due date for, next year, for the Qualities for Success, or mission goal is here. And I understand I will go to this link to literally spell out of their Safe School that you agreed to do this for all the teachers. But now we have another safeguard. We're gonna get a teacher or two to actually oversee it.
Nice.
So we have those things, opportunities for co-leading. Other one is divvy up NWA scores, so we can divvy up the kids to go into their own reading classes and all that stuff 3 times a year. It's someone in charge of what they call the 90-day plan, which is not required of charter schools. The thing is, I mean, I kind of wrote it all already, the 90 day, but you just have to review it.
Yep.
Teachers just have to read. Someone has to take charge of reviewing it. I'll make this one quick because I know we're kind of going over 6 o'clock. I put out the really small organizational chart, the thing that I just wanted folks to.
I had to use my phone to look at it.
How much you
My
were
magnifier, yeah. The,
with three
the only thing I
classes.
kind of wanted to, highlight there
I thought you were
was-
videotaping it.
No, I can't see it.
Okay, Char.
and folks kind of get wig out, especially back office and staff, when I say you need to find your replacement, because I've been saying since I started, you need to find your replacement. And so the cross training has actually been happening. The red mark, cross train means these people have been cross trained, like, ready? Like Ashley and Charlotte, who do finance and EA, they actually have been in Infinite Campus doing things with Mona, and Mona's had to work with them on how to input stuff in Infinite Campus, and of course Mona knows how to do the finance thing throughout the doing requisition stuff. Actually, Charlotte knows how to do that. So there's multiple people that are somewhat knowledgeable about other people's work, which wasn't always the case, right? So that's the only thing I kind of wanted you guys to highlight. The highlight that I wanted you guys to kind of pay attention
It's
to.
building that capacity.
Yeah,
Because
it's
if somebody
super-
leaves, it
super
has
small
to keep,
places, you know.
has to
Places
keep rolling,
damn.
yeah.
Yeah.
It tends to
So one
like
of those.
stop.
Yes, stop. That's literally
Yeah.
what happens. Yeah, they get here with you. You need to find your replacement. What if you get hit by a bus? I always say
Yeah,
that.
we need this
Get hit by a
to
bus.
We're sorry
Yeah,
about that.
sorry about that. It happens. So, well, even though we have a social worker on site part-time, we always have. I can't stress enough our quote SEL interventions. They're paid out of some line item. They have substitute licenses. It's Isabel and Madi. Man, they do really well with what I had told them. Intercept the kids before they get to my office.
Yeah.
Help develop relational skills amongst each other. Because I can go punitive quick, and I do sometimes quick. But your job is to keep those kids out of my office.
But building that
Isabel
trust,
has
those
been
relationships,
Incredible,
that's how you do it.
incredible. Like I don't want to even say conflict resolution. It's just kids. If I broke it down, it's basically this: is I'm able to express as a student to you, another student, my feelings.
Why you're frustrated.
For you to be able to listen and ready my needs from you, even if you can't carry it out, I'm going to express it anyways. I tell Isabel that's life altering. No one sees it.
Yes.
Life
Yes.
altering, not just here, but in your partnerships at home.
Yeah.
Right.
Every work
Really,
relationships,
really.
like peer
But-
relationships.
Tell her the parents don't even know what you're doing with the kid.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing what she and Madi are doing.
Those are skills that
They're
a lot
not
of people
counselors.
don't learn until maybe don't learn at all, but they learn well into adulthood, like myself.
It's not in the charter, it's not, but it's how we address things. I go, that doesn't happen in any other middle school.
No.
So,
That's the stuff that makes a difference though, it really does.
but hopefully you guys do see it at some point.
Yeah, yeah.
Other stuff there, their compliance related, crazy art reporting. It's,
What art, I forget.
the stimulus.
Okay.
What did you do the last 5 years?
I know,
You
but I
like,
can't
okay,
remember what
sure.
it stands for.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, like literally, what did you do with the money
I
the
know.
last 5 years? Here's what we did, yes. There was a dinner program, CACFP, review, and they had asked us to, provide, the menu record book, for the last 3 months, February, March, and April. We just have April to provide to them, and that'll be it, and it's closed. That was the one area of finding that they didn't.
They didn't have April? What was the finding?
You know what? They said you guys were using the National School Lunch Program's menu record book. It needs to be on the CACFP menu record book, and it needs to be a little more detailed.
Yeah.
And so, okay, that's great feedback. We'll do that moving forward.
Gotcha.
And not on here is that I told Lisa, because we're doing in-house now,
Mhm.
preparing, is the menu, just reuse it every month. So that way, the menu record book isn't going to be very different. You don't have to recreate it every single day, every single week. It's the same menu, just different dates on it.
Mhm.
So that's the strategy. She can get
That
through
works.
9 months or 10 months worth.
And
We'll
it's,
have it all
and you
there.
know that 1 month is in compliance, so you're
That's right.
including that.
Yes, that's right.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
How much are you saving by having in-house?
Well,
222,000, I think I
we
just
were gonna
saw.
say,
What?
but here's the thing, I said. And then I noticed breakfast reimbursements or claims were super low. And so I go, Lisa, we gotta, every kid that walks through that door in the morning, they gotta
Serve
have
'em.
breakfast.
Yeah, they
They
need
gotta have breakfast.
And they need it.
They
Oh,
do
I
need
didn't see
it, even if they don't need it.
Oh, that's on the last one. Oh, no, I saw that.
Yeah, so we're getting it up there. Here's the thing, even CARM and teachers are getting involved. I told them, I didn't scare them. I just said, hey, we're designated as a school that we can give kids free lunch, 145 kids, right? I didn't say, hey, if the state sees that we're only giving lunches or breakfasts to 40 kids, and that's the average, what do you think they're gonna do? So now we have Isabel, Madi, CARM, like going around in the morning, because CARM has to prep in the morning, making sure kids get their breakfast.
Excellent.
That's good, that's really good.
Yeah, it's always been a struggle.
Has
You
it?
know, well, yeah, because you get kids here and the first thing they wanna do is just go chit chat with their friends. They don't wanna eat. But then 45 minutes into class, they would be starving. right?
That's how,
I'm
that's,
hungry.
yeah, that's how it
Exactly,
works.
yeah.
Social, social stuff first.
The only last compliance thing is that it's always an issue, right? Suspension of students out of school, suspension of students with disabilities. We did have one that was flagged. It's always about 2 years behind.
I saw that in 22, 23.
Yeah, so 2 years behind, and it probably will require a cap. It's okay, we'll work on it.
I'm pretty sure,
What was
probably
the-
know who it is.
How many days was that, Stephen?
Over 10 days, and there was not,
This was prior to you.
yeah, it was over 10 days,
No
and,
hearing.
yeah, and no manifestation.
Hmm.
We did have one this year, now on this one, 2024, 2025. It wasn't a straight 10 days, it was actually 11 days.
Mm.
The background on it was, and there's no manifestation after we did the IEP. Why is
It's 10 for
that?
the year, right?
It's
In
10
school
for-
and out of school.
It's out of school, it's what the feds look at.
I thought it was in school too, because if you take them out of their classroom setting, that's out of their LRE. That was my understanding of how
This does say
Yeah.
specific out of school.
Yeah,
but I thought when we're talking about suspension, that it included in school as
Yeah,
well,
we've
because
had-
they're removing them from their study.
it's true.
Because they're
It is
not,
setting,
they're
you're right,
not
it is
having
setting.
access to
Yeah.
that special
You're right,
teacher
you're right.
in like your office, if
Yeah,
that's where
that's
ISS
right, yeah.
is, right?
And the
That's
part
right.
that says that they might require the cap, it does actually doesn't say specifically it's out of.
Yeah, it may require cap for both, but what I did with the 2024, 2025, because I'll own this one, what happened was, it's not a pattern. A student was suspended 2 days at the very beginning of the year for something they did at the end of the previous people. They pulled the fire alarm the last day of school.
Oh.
And I wasn't gonna let it slide, so they got thing. Right when they came back, parents were cool with it. But later on, there was an incident with paraphernalia and all that stuff. But I only did like 9 days. And I know,
No paraphernalia?
I know, right? I'm super nice. It's a good
No,
kid. It
that's
really
a
is a good.
lot.
It's a good kid.
But I feel like 9 days is a long time.
Is it? No, she brought
We
drugs.
sent her home with, well, we just,
She brought drugs.
9 days to
She
me is
gave it to kids.
a
Oh,
long,
Yeah.
I mean, 9 is a long.
APS, that would have been half the year. Maybe.
that could have been like full expulsion if it was, if it
But
was.
that's why we're not
distributed.
IBS though.
No, I don't,
That's true.
I'm with you because I
I'm with you,
Sean
but it
had
had to
to
be
lay
9
down the
days.
hand.
I have my thoughts on
Yeah,
that.
I'm
I'm
not
gonna
gonna
go
say.
to walk to the gas station.
oh my
You like
God.
suspend her for a week? I'm like, she just walked across the street, Char.
Well, without permission.
But we did look at, we had a meeting, with the parents and everyone,
Mhm.
the team. It's not a pattern, it's not a manifestation. But it was flagged because it was over 10 days.
Right.
It was 9 days. I thought I was being, oh, that's 9 days. Oh my God, I forgot there was 2 days early in the year,
Yeah.
so, one of those.
Otherwise, it would have been.
Yeah. So just giving you a heads up with that, but I actually have all the backup for that. the IEP and determining there wasn't a pattern. It's all digital and everything. If one comes around, I'm gonna stop there.
Back to the suspension though.
Please.
We don't need to go back and forth about that
Yeah.
particular student, but is there something that, is there a flow chart that says if they bring this is how many days, or is it is it based off of
Yeah, the
track
handbook.
record?
The handbook is actually the handbook, and I support a harsh handbook because we can always pull back
Right,
from
right,
it,
Mhm.
and it
Seven
does
days,
mirror. No, it mirrors.
APS.
Be long-term suspended, go
Wow.
to hearing and everything.
It
Not only do
depends
you
on the
bring drugs,
situation.
not only do you bring drugs, but if you distribute it.
Right, so
case,
that becomes a, yeah.
Have we ever thought about like harm reduction? Like when you, like talk about how you have those two EAs that are doing like those problem solving stuff, like some harm reduction for those students that are doing these things when they do come back? How are you educating them about that?
Yeah, yes, but before they go out, and disagree with me, I did have to, it wasn't as harsh as you would see in a traditional school district, but I did feel like, hey, there's a message set because there was multiple kids involved. And if they did see that kiddo back the next day, man, I just don't know, I just,
Yeah, and definitely
about-
go back the next day.
What about like, a restorative justice piece, which would be like, because I mean, it's real that, as an adult or as a youth, like if you give something to somebody and they die, you're charged with that. And like, so, I don't know, maybe like, a learning opportunity there with the suspension, maybe, 9 days does seem weird because it's like 1 day in 2 weeks. I mean, but
yeah.
But maybe like an opportunity to like, really reflect on what could have happened there.
And how do they repair the harm, right? Like the harm they did to their community. 'Cause that's
Right,
still restored.
right,
yeah.
How do you
No,
fix your
that's true.
community? Like you did this harm to you, this is our
Yes,
community.
yes.
So
These
we
are your
can't
homies,
have
these
this,
are your,
right?
yeah.
How do you repair that harm?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah.
Like have them be a part of that resolution instead of.
There's a lot of real life stories that, get played in the media.
Send them
That
to
are
Scared
related to
Straight,
that.
just kidding.
That'll do it,
Yeah, that'll do
instead of the 9 days.
Scared Straight.
No, it's good thought, the follow-up piece, and we did speak with the parents when they came back and with the student. Yeah, it's a good piece, because we're not APS, we're not, that's not saying the APS is bad, it's
No,
not
no,
saying
no.
at all.
No,
It's just that we're not a traditional school district, and,
I'll take that and I'll tell you about it.
Yeah,
for sure. For sure. That is, my, report.
Audit, anything about the audit,
Yeah.
council training?
So, council trainings, again, that's just something that's on all of
Oh,
our
gotcha.
agendas, so that we make sure, but I think that we were all in compliance. Last month, I can get with, Melissa, I think of Melissa and Jessica, just to make sure on the trainings, but, the next thing is the audit. We did, get the opportunity to have a training, as a board, which I think went really well and was a good opportunity. And then, tomorrow morning, we'll be in front of the Public Education Commission, actually talking about this next, discussion item, which is the audit. And basically, it's our steps moving forward, as far as a corrective, what are the words?
There'll be a corrective action.
Corrective action, yeah.
This is the corrective action part of the.
Well, it's our self-imposed corrective action.
Right,
Right.
They can come up with a different corrective action. And the front page is the one that, just working with and dealing with the PDC. I literally have not missed a meeting they've
Right.
had all past couple of years. I know that, I know that they want more of a summary, and what the words they use is they don't necessarily want to go into the weeds.
Okay,
okay.
that's good.
They want to see that you saw everything and that it's.
And this is what we're doing moving forward.
It's basically what are your actions, Junior.
Right.
But Mike Beal Jr. will be there.
Yep.
Excellent.
We can, in person, everything, we've talked even yesterday. And, yeah, like I had mentioned to you guys, I'll absolutely own this, because it's on my watch, and it's actually my employee, even though, boards work closely with finance directors and
Right.
business managers in the end. It's my employee and, that really is on me and, we'll speak to that at the PEC and, yeah.
I wish I could go. I have some major stuff going on tomorrow, but, so I won't be able to.
I'll be there, yeah, I'll be there.
It'll start at 9:00.
I
Yeah.
can live stream it though, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can. There's a few things happening before,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't be surprised if it actually starts at 10:30.
Like maybe some of you could just put a text out on the group. like,
It's on.
Yeah,
Yes.
oh, yeah,
That would be
We're
great.
gonna
Yeah.
start,
The live
we're gonna
stream,
start in
yeah.
like
That
10
would be
minutes, we're up next, and
Yeah.
I could just put it on and.
Can we sign up for public comment?
You can.
We can submit something
Online,
in
you
writing.
can. Yeah, you can. You can actually just say something if you want, but it would have to be ready by at 9:00. That's when we do public comments.
Oh, okay, yeah, never mind.
And I'll also say, just to speak to, the corrective action, like this, Baylor drafted this super early on. I mean, literally like as we were finding stuff out.
Right.
And then just kind of amended it, to get it to this. I'm super confident that it's gonna be fine.
What's not on there is, I actually had Paul Aguilar was sitting right there, getting his advice from, how we need to address this thing. We had spoken with Betty, of course, because she was up there at PED, and we settled with Mary Schofield. And, we split the approach that we took between Mary, you go do anything before 2024,
Mhm.
June
Yeah.
30, 2024. He'll do, even though you started in January 1st, 2025, you need to do the fall right before you got here.
Reconciling
Yeah,
everything
because
from
All
July
this is
1.
preparation for the 2025
Yeah, they want it,
audit. Yeah,
that makes sense.
the beauty is, and Mike had talked about this, is the audit for the summer, they're gonna roll in, and I spoke to Matt Bone, the auditor, he's gonna roll in the re-audit of the 6/30/24 statement
Oh,
to
good.
make it as clean as possible. He's gonna do that the
Okay.
week of May 19th.
Oh, perfect.
And that's what, Mary Schofield is handling, right?
In preparation for this,
Right.
yeah,
I like the way you added in, Al and his
Yeah.
connection to the school and then the one-on-one.
yeah, I think the main one they're always gonna look at is, did you change business managers?
Yeah.
That's
They'll
the main
always
ones they're
do it,
gonna
yeah.
look at.
Yeah.
And Maria is very open, super candid. If you ever wanna speak with her, she would meet with us here. I was gonna ask her even tonight to come, but, she's super open
But
to
I'm in a
meeting with
hurry,
any of
sorry.
you all.
I'm not in a hurry, I have so much going on.
Maria, our former business manager.
Yeah, right.
All right, so the next, discussion item is our next meeting, sorry, I was pulling this up, would be
28th.
May 28th. And we will have the, 4 PM, the finance meeting, followed by the regular, governing council meeting at 5. And that's, you said, yeah, May 28th. Okay, and then, because we didn't really, so, are we gonna go into a,
I think we could for
Okay,
a little
yeah,
bit,
let's do it.
discuss a few things and then,
okay, I'll make a motion, for the governing council to enter into a closed session, as permitted by the Open Meetings Act, to discuss limited personnel matters, specifically to discuss, hiring of an administrator, or interim administrator.
I'll second that motion.
Do we do a roll call for that?
Yes.
Okay, okay, we'll do a roll call. Brittany Badadas, yes. Brenda Fritz? Yes. And Charlotte Trigo?
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
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 And
Thanks.
the, I need to keep the streaming going, so the closed motion needs to be somewhere else. It's
Yeah.
upstairs.
Oh, I gotcha. All right.
Wait, what do we do?
So we have to move. for
Yeah,
closed
because if I
session.
stop
Because
it,
the
I'll
live
have
stream
to
has
start
to keep
it.
going.
Leave my keys in because I couldn't find them earlier.
I'm sorry, I just realized like my stuff is like all across the whole table. I'm sorry.
I took some of your stuff to look at earlier.
Oh, yeah. Never mind, it's not my fault.
Yeah, so.
Remember where we went last time?
Yes,
Upstairs.
often it's just like, you know,
Gracias.
the rest of the actions on there, right?
We'll have to one day call, the fire.
So see, I don't know if I was allowed to say that out loud.
Yeah. Oh, test the fire extinguisher so we
I'm
can.
gonna have to have her come back.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, guys, I'll consider approval of the following statement. The matters discussed in the closed meeting was limited only to those specified in the motion to enter into the closed meeting.
Do I have to motion? Yeah.
Right, because it's a.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to reconvene into regular session,
With that statement that I read?
with the following statement.
Okay.
That the matters discussed in the closed meeting was limited to those specified in the motion to enter into the closed meeting.
I'll second.
Okay, we'll do a roll call. Brittany Bananas, yes. Bernadette Fritz?
Yes.
And Charlotte Trujillo?
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Names? Okay. And we'll call the meeting adjourned at 7:27.
Okay. All right, I will look for that other job description.
Okay, thank you so much, guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Baylor.
No, thank you guys.